Hello everybody and welcome to today's stream. Sorry for being a minute late here, just getting everything set up on my end, so appreciate you, the 4 or 5 of you that are hanging out here waiting for the stream to start. Great to see everybody. Mike, Low Roller, Hamza, nice to see you. Welcome. Definitely got a good crowd right off the bat. So excited to kind of take a look at what's been going on in crypto. I think there's been a lot of new topics to talk about since our last stream. I know it's been a little bit since I streamed last, but yeah, so as always, for people who are new here, if you do have any questions, comments, things you want to hear about, whatever it may be, please feel free to leave a chat in the live comments section. In previous streams, we've been able to address all comments, so hopefully we can continue that with today's stream. But let's see, Mike, you said, I want to see based on previous cycle charts, where do I expect to see Bitcoin near the halving and into 2025? Yeah, we can definitely take a look at that. And real quick, Low Roller said you heard Coinbase listed Bonk, I'm guessing is how you say that, as a new meme coin. I did not hear about that. I've actually never even heard of the coin. So very interesting though. So let's take a look at TradingView here. And we can take a look at Bitcoin halving dates. Let's see, past halvings, that's what we want to see. So I think probably easiest way to go about this is taking a look at the last Bitcoin halving in 2020, which was May 11th. So keeping that in mind, if we pull up the Bitcoin chart here, of course we'll go into dark mode, and we are going to probably look at this on the day chart is probably the easiest way to go about that. But May 11th, right? It was May 11th, 2020. So if we zoom in a little bit here and find May 11th, let's zoom in a little bit more. And we can actually see that it was a relatively calm day. Now, I think the very important thing to remember with the Bitcoin halving and kind of what we've seen in the past is the Bitcoin halving itself isn't all that special. There isn't a huge jump in price, drop in price. It kind of remained relatively flat. You can see that it opened at about 8,739 and closed 8,576. So just a couple $100 down. Did have a little bit of movement throughout that day. But more or less, we didn't really see it break through this resistance level of around $10,500 until about a month or so later. June 27th of 2020 is when we really broke through that last support, which, the last time we had seen it above that was way back in 2019, and even then it was still on its way down. So with that being said, where we're at right now, I think we're seeing a little bit of a run up, which we did see prior to May of 2020. We did see Bitcoin touch as high as $13,000, which was only a few $1,000s off of its all-time high previously of about about $20,000. So I think what we're seeing right now, we are about 4 months out. I think what's actually really nice is CoinMarketCap has added this halving countdown. So we're about 126 days out. And we are seeing a little bit of jump in prices across the board, not just with Bitcoin, but many cryptos as well. So what we might be seeing right now is this little bit of a run up where we'll get, maybe up to $50,000, $55,000, kind of test against the limit around that. Of course, those are just guesses, nearing that all-time high, but not quite getting up there. And then see it fall back down through, the next couple months. That would be very similar to what we saw previously. Now, again, we do have to take this data with a little bit of a grain of salt because there were some other things going on in the world around 2020. I think we all know what that was, and that affected all financial investments, whether it be crypto or not. So with that being said, I think this kind of section here is probably where we're at now. But what's important to remember is as we look forward past May, we didn't really see Bitcoin start to spike up or even cross its previous all-time high until December of 2020. So that was 7 months after it did its first split, or not first split, but split of 2020. So I would say with, this coming up in March, April, May timeframe, just depending on the network, we probably won't see anything major, and by major I mean new all-time highs, for at least 4 to 6 months after. So really, I think what we're preparing for right now is this time next year. December into January of 2025 is when it's really, I think it will really start to go up, and we'll see new highs and things like that. Of course, what those new all-time highs will be, that is just a complete guessing game. We can take a look and see like, oh, Bitcoin's previous all-time high was X and it went up to this amount, and that's a certain percentage. But really that data starts to get a little bit more of a guessing game than I would like to, dive into. If that's something that you're interested in, I can maybe do a little bit of that math off the live stream, because I do see we have some other chats here. But Mike, hopefully this was helpful. I think everybody's really excited for the next halving, but what's really important is waiting. It's not going to happen in 126 days. I think that's, the most important thing. I'll reload this to get rid of that ad real quick. But we halved May 11th, 2020 and hit the all-time high of around $68,000, $69,000 November of 2021. So well over a year later, almost a year and a half later. So with that being said, continue whatever you've been doing to get your crypto, whether it's investing, mining, cloud mining, faucets, surveys, however it is, just keep going with that. Get as much as you can right now, because it is coming and you do still have time. It can be a little bit discouraging for sure, but keep moving forward with it and get as much as you can with the lower prices. But moving on real quick here, and we can always circle back to that as well. Low Roller, you said I wouldn't buy Bonk since it went up too fast. That's actually interesting, because I like I said, I had never even heard of it. I'm guessing it's very popular. It was right as soon as I clicked search. But yeah, let's take a look at, so this is their year chart. I guess we can go to an all. This is the same chart. Yeah, it definitely spiked up. Looking at its, just 1 month, it's up 826%, which is really nice. But, again, some of these coins out there, unfortunately, there are so many meme coins out there that you're really just randomly choosing coins here and there and hoping that this happens. And if you did happen to hold this, congratulations. Absolutely great purchase, great hold. But, I wouldn't go out and, throw money into it. Now, with that being said, I don't know anything about this coin, so maybe it does have really good use case. I'll have to look into it a little bit offline. But yeah, based off the initial look here, I probably wouldn't be going out and throwing a bunch of money into it in hopes that it will continue to go up. They do have a pretty large supply here, so that's something to think about as well. And Shill, nice to see you here. You said Bonk is stabilizing. Yeah, it seems to be, maybe hit this peak and we'll be kind of trading sideways for a day or so here, and we'll see some more movement. But yeah, definitely, we'll see what happens. And then Low Roller, I see you said I wouldn't buy the Bonk coin since it will crash 50%. Remember Pepe coin? Yeah, exactly. That's really the unfortunate case with some of these, with all of these meme coins, really, is if you don't get in at the exact right time, you might as well just stay away from it. If the coin has already gone up more than, I would say, 50 to 100%, you're probably too late. Now, yes, there are, rare cases, but in most cases, by the time you get the money where it needs to be to purchase the coin or mine the coin or whatever, it's most likely too late. But, that's not always the case. But with a lot of these coins, unfortunately, I would say that's more often than not. And Shill, you said it wouldn't surprise me. It looks like overbought to me. So yeah, definitely interesting. And listing something on Coinbase, of course, it's going to see some amount of spike. I don't know when it got listed. I'm assuming very recently, but definitely going to get a lot more traffic. As you can see, they've done 13% of the volume in 24 hours, which, 641 million in volume is pretty good. But between them and KuCoin, those two exchanges, that's the majority of it. I guess scrolling down a little bit here, there's Gate.io and Bybit. Gate sounds familiar, but I don't recognize those immediately. So yeah, it's an interesting one, definitely one to keep your eyes on, but, like I said, unless you can get it for free, faucet, however it may be, I would probably, put no more than, $5-10, maybe 20 into it just to see what happens. But that's my personal opinion, so who knows? And real quick, it does look like we've had a few new people joining the stream here, so welcome to everybody who is new. If this is your first stream here with Bitcoin Tips, please feel free to leave any comments, questions, things you want to hear about in the live chat. We'll make sure to touch on it and talk about it for a little bit. But welcome, and please consider hitting the like button and subscribing if you aren't already. So jumping back in here, Low Roller said Doge on Mars could be a good play if it can get listed on Coinbase. Absolutely, I think that would be really good. I don't know the chances of it getting listed on Coinbase or any other large exchange for that matter. But yeah, I think, like I was just saying with this coin here, it got a ton of press and publicity. Didn't say that word correctly, but whatever. Just because it got listed on one of the most well-known exchanges in crypto. That would be huge for any coin, whether it's, a meme coin or, a coin that's got a lot of really good use cases behind it, beyond just being a kind of a joke and for fun. So hopefully we can see that, but we'll just kind of have to wait and see. I think if it starts to get a lot more movement and attention, and Coinbase sees a profitable coin to add, and if that's Dogecoin, great. But yeah, I think we'll just have to kind of wait and see where that goes. Mike, you said, yeah, that was helpful for sure. And if you don't mind, I'd love to see you punch some numbers and get a general idea. Yeah, for sure. Like I said, that's a little bit more math, and there's probably an article out there already. I'll have to kind of dig around and see. This one actually gives you the all-time highs. So in 2012, 1,170. We jumped to 19,650 according to this source. Kind of widely accepted that was 20,000, but and then, of course, we went from about 20,000 to 67,500. So, you can maybe do a little bit of the math here and see, like, what was the percentage jump from, 1,170 to 19,000. Is that percentage the same going from 19,000 to 67? And then apply a similar percentage, from 67 on top of that. Like I said, I don't want to get too far into the numbers here right away, but, that's probably my thinking would give us, some sort of idea for the next halving, and how high it will go. But, there's tons of other things that will play into it. We've seen, just with the feds making a decision here about, keeping the interest rates the same and possibly going down in 2024 in the U.S. That is something that I think we will see additional money coming into crypto as those start to come down. But if they do stay higher longer than expected, we might see less money coming into crypto. So, there's a lot of outside factors that frankly just weren't really around for all of these halvings. So starting to predict on dollars and value can get a little bit sketchy, I'll say, in the weeds of is this even something you want to be saying. Of course you can make predictions, but you never really know. And then Low Roller, you said Bonk is meme coin of Solana. I think I just saw that here in the news section of CoinMarketCap. So yeah, definitely interesting. I'll have to do a little bit more looking into it after the fact, because yeah, like I said, I recognize the yellow picture probably just from the trending box here, but don't know anything about it. Really haven't even heard about it or looked into it till right now. So let's see. Low Roller said we're not even in the bull run. These meme coins will go up crazy in the bull run. It's a great buy for a couple bucks if you wait for 50% crash. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great point. We've seen a lot of really, really good movement across a number of cryptocurrencies, whether it be regular crypto or meme coin cryptos, whatever, however you want to refer to them. But Bitcoin's up almost $43,000. That's very, very well the past month. Ethereum, kind of same thing, doing really well. Binance, XRP, Solana, even Dogecoin was over 10 cents just a few days ago. It's still very, very close to 10 cents. Of course, the title of this stream is around Shiba. They're burning tons and tons of coins for Shiba Inu. I think this one's got potential to explode just because of that. Litecoin's been up a little bit. A lot of these coins have been going up, and we're not even into what I would say is near the bull run. So of course we have the data we kind of took a look at the beginning of the stream, and who knows, maybe that will be wrong. Maybe we will see a few weeks after the halving it starts to go up like crazy. I think it's unlikely, but I think what we're in is that kind of pre-bull market. People are starting to get excited. They're, saying, okay, well, let me try and get some of these coins to hold on to for what should be the bull run. And you're seeing a little bit of a price jump because of that. And then what you'll see is a little bit of a price dip as people think, oh, well, maybe this is the whole, all-time highs, or, not all-time highs, but all-time highs for this bull run. And, I've made, 20% or 50% or, doubled my money, whatever it might be, cash out. Well, yeah, you can do that, or keep holding and wait a little bit longer for those, new all-time highs. So, Low Roller asked, Shill, are you new to crypto? So Shill, if you're still here. Low Roller, you said, did Fire Faucet add new coins yet? Not to my knowledge. I believe it's still the same coins. I was just going to pull it up over here on the other screen to see if I can sign in. I believe it's still like 12 or 13 coins. Let me see here. Getting signed in. All right. Yep, still the same 12 coins. I'll just drag this over here. Binance Coin, Bitcoin, USDT, Cardano, Ethereum, Doge, Litecoin, Dash, Tron, Nano, XMR Monero, ZEC, and Digibyte. So still the same coins over here on Fire Faucet, but as always, definitely use the site, claim these coins, and do an exchange if you want to get a different coin. Or, these are just good to hold on to as well. A number of these coins I think have really good potential. So, keep that in mind as well. Just because they aren't adding new coins, I wouldn't discredit the site altogether. But, maybe they'll add some more in the future. But, it's still a really solid faucet. I've never had any issues with it. So, definitely worth keeping it around. Mike, you said, yes, that was big news. The rate cuts and the possible ETFs, trillions might flow into Bitcoin, which could raise its price significantly. That's absolutely true. I think we have these big events coming up. And, that's why starting to say, predicting dollars, I've never really been a huge fan of saying price predictions or even really looking them up. Just mainly because it's guessing, and yeah, they're fun to read, but it's also very, very easy to find the data that you want to see. Of course, we all want crypto to go up, but I'm sure it wouldn't take very long for you to go out on Google and say, what is Bitcoin's price going to be, and find a price that you would say is, wow, that would be awesome. I think that's going to be it. Whatever that number is for you. If it's 150,000, if it's 100,000, if it's 250,000, I'm sure there are price predictions out there for all of that. And there are price predictions out there for the other way too that say, it's not going to cross 50,000 because of this, this, and this. I've seen it before in crypto for Bitcoin and altcoins. Nobody knows where the price is going to go. I think we're starting to see that data with the bull runs in the past here on the charts that indicate that yes, something is going to happen. There's been 3-4 other instances with the same pattern that saw gains, but with everything else going on, whether it be the Fed, changing interest rates, or, massive shutdowns in the world, or, recession, whatever it might be, those all play into it, and it's going to be different every time. And like you said, if an ETF comes through, we could see, thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions, trillions of dollars that we didn't expect coming into crypto, whereas before we never even had that as an option. So we could see all-time highs that blow previous ones way out of the water from a percentage standpoint, but we might not. So that's why, price predictions, yeah, they're fun to look at, they're fun to talk about, everybody has their own opinion, but I don't see a huge value in them personally. But with that being said, hopefully we can, get a little bit of data out of it and see where it might be headed. So let's see here. Low roll, you said Bitcoin crashed this week, went down under 39,000 to scare new people on crypto. Yeah, I think, that's something to think about as well, is, there's a lot of new people in cryptocurrency that might not really understand kind of some of the patterns, and when you are investing in something new and something as volatile as crypto, it can be a little bit frightening and people will sell off. So that's something to consider as well. But obviously Bitcoin's doing pretty well, back up around the 43,000 mark, and I think if we do see it start to dip back down again, nothing too concerning. Just continue collecting and holding that crypto. All right. Hamza, you said fun token price up 100%. Just sold mine on that site. Yes. Definitely an interesting. I never did get into that. I did read about them a little bit, but I never did get any of those coins. But yeah, I do know they come with a lot of benefits for different earnings on that site. Unfortunately, we can't go into it too much here, but glad it sounds like you got a little bit of profit out of it. Congratulations, and hopefully you still have some to get those benefits. But if not, awesome. Glad you were able to make a little bit of money. Mike, you said Bitcoin up 150% year to date, hits all-time high if it goes up another 50%. So that's awesome. When you really start to look at it like that, it's a good thing, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do pull back a little bit, as we start to get closer to that halving. But who knows? I think, we've seen a lot of really strong positive things for crypto, the ETF being one of them, the rates being one of them, and then just, the crypto community between coins, whether it's Bitcoin or other coins. Seen a lot of new people come in and start using these coins and collecting them, and that's just more movement, more money going around in crypto, and I think that's a really strong thing as well. All right, had to grab a drink there, but Mike, you said excellent analysis. I agree with you completely. you get used to 1 Bitcoin for opening an account on Coin. You used to get 1 Bitcoin for opening an account on Coinbase. Who knows how high BTC will go in the years to come. I actually did not know you used to get a whole Bitcoin for opening an account. That must have been a long time ago, because yeah, I had an account on Coinbase back in like 2015, and I never got a whole Bitcoin for opening an account, but definitely cool. And yeah, you know, I remember when Bitcoin got close to $1,000, and it was kind of hovering around that area. This was probably 2016, kind of getting closer to 2017. It was really easy to do the math on how much dollars a Satoshi was worth, or how many, you know, depending on how many you had. So, you know, that was very, you know, fun to just say like, oh, you have X number of Satoshis, that's $10 or whatever it was. And then it passed on, and, you know, we saw that kind of same thing. Just a weird little thing in the math that I remember. But anyway, you know, of course, I think we still have potentials to see well into the 6 figures for Bitcoin. How high it goes, that's really hard to say. But with that being said, you know, I do think that we will see at least a $100,000 Bitcoin in the next cycle. That's my personal thoughts on it. You know, we'll have to wait and see, but I think that's very possible. Mike, you said, do you DCA into any coins, or are you still mining and fauceting? Not sure DCA. Let me look that up real quick. Probably in stocks and finance and investing here. So, dollar cost averaging. I've never heard it as an acronym before. No. Essentially, the answer for that is no. I am still getting all of my coins for free. You know, I've never put any actual dollars into cryptocurrency. It's all been faucets, cloud mining, which you can make the argument there that, well, you bought the computer hardware, so you invested in it, but I've never actually just went ahead and said, you know, send $100 to Coinbase or whatever exchange you want and get the crypto. So I would say no, not dollar cost averaging, just kind of collecting the coins and holding them, staking, you know, stuff like that, but not really dollar cost averaging in the traditional sense. You know, of course, still claiming from the faucets and, you know, all of that, but, you know, it does go up and down with the price, and, you know, regardless of where it is, I think it's still, you know, definitely worth you know, claiming regardless of how much you're getting. So hopefully that answers the question. But Low Roller, you said, you look at the top 100 coins are different today compared to the 2021 bull run. The coin that was top 100 in 2021, now they are on page 2 or even 3 and 4. That is that's very true. You know, if you look at the historical coin market cap, you know, it's very, very rare to see coins that last many years in the top 100. You know, looking at it now, you know, these coins like, you know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, USDT, those kind of just stay where they are. But, you know, a lot of these are very different. You know, this AVAX Avalanche coin here, I don't really know what it is. I know it's been doing really well, obviously almost 50% this week. But I don't ever remember seeing it there. You know, and I know there's a coin market cap history. Yeah, this site here, the historical data. So if we look back at, like you were saying, November 2021, we'll just go the 18th. You know, we got Bitcoin, Ripple number 2. So Ripple was ahead. Oh, that was 2018. Hang on. Chose the wrong year. I was going to say, I don't remember Ripple being that high in the bull run. But yeah, so 2021, you know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance, Tether, Solana, Cardano, XRP, Polkadot coin. I don't even know where that coin is now. 11? Okay, not too bad. USDT or USD coin, and we had Dogecoin in 10. Avalanche was there. I guess I just don't remember seeing it. But you know, if you go back, like I said, I clicked on 2018, November of 2018. all of those coins, a lot of them are not here. Even Dogecoin, where was Dogecoin? In 2018, Dogecoin was 25 on the coin market cap, very far down comparatively to where it is now. So all of these coins are very different, with a very small exception. And kind of even going back to the beginning of 2017, again, we have a completely different set of kind of top 15, top 20, with the exception of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin, even Monero, number 5. That was a really big coin for a long time back then, and it still is number 25. That's nothing to say it's a small coin, but it's dropped quite a bit in the last few years. So it's pretty interesting. I would say that Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, those are your safe investments. They've been around for a while. They've proven themselves to stay relatively close to where they're at. But as always, they're not immune to what's going on, and crypto can change very quickly. So keep that in mind. But Mike, you said low roller's right, which is why I often wonder if BTC is the only thing you need to do well. That's a very good point. I would say regardless of what coins you're interested in, what your investment strategy is, what methodology you think will work best, if you're all in on meme coins, or all in on AI coins, or metaverse coins, whatever it is, always having some Bitcoin, I think, will work out in your favor. Like I said, you're not going to get rich because you're not going out and buying 100 million Bitcoin. You can't even buy 100 million Bitcoin. There's not that many. So you're not going to get these crazy, like, oh, I put $20 into it and got 100 million coins, and if it goes to a cent, I got $1 million. No, you might be putting a couple $100, couple $1,000 into it and seeing it just slowly go up. But I think it's one of the safer ones. So very interesting. I think Bitcoin, if Bitcoin starts dropping further than, I would say, position 2 or 3, if it drops into the 4th position, something crazy has happened in crypto. I really don't see Bitcoin dropping more than 3rd place at absolute worst. And of course, I think that would be taken over by Ethereum, and maybe another coin like Ripple or Solana might come up, but that's way in the future. I think at this time Bitcoin will be remaining number 1 for the time being. Low roller said it's very difficult to pick coins in the top 100. Now these coins in 2021 were popular, and now they're no longer popular and end up on page 2 to 4. Monero is 86 now, and Dash is on page 2. Dash is a really good example, because that was a huge coin for a very long time. Just looking it up here, because that was a very good staking and masternode coin. Yeah, what volume is only 63 million and position 123. That's really interesting, because I almost wonder, Masternodes online, I wonder how much it costs for a masternode in Dash. Let me see here. It still costs almost $34,000 to set up a masternode with Dash, and you're only earning 7%. Daily income of $6 on an investment of $34,000 for a Dash masternode. That's really interesting. I wonder how many are out. Oh, 3,017. So that's interesting. There's how many coins go into it? 1,000. So 300 and lots of thousands. But yeah, Dash is an interesting one, because I know I had personally looked at a Dash masternode, but of course they were way too expensive. So with that being said, I think, you know, that's a very good example of a coin. But yeah, so moving on here, you said, I remember Verge, Bytecoin, Redcoin, popular in 2017. I'm worried about Digibyte might end up on that list in the next cycle. You never know, but yeah, I think there's always a possibility. But yeah, those coins were very popular back then, and you know, now not so much. So, you know, hopefully that doesn't happen, but we'll, I guess, just kind of have to wait and see. And yeah, I don't know what happened to the Dash project. Looked like a good project. Yeah, I mean, it was, you know, one of the first, you know, big kind of Masternode staking kind of coins that really took off. And unfortunately, I guess it's just kind of lost interest, or, you know, the market supply has gotten diluted. You know, I'm not sure. I don't know too much about it, but, you know, we'll see. And you said, are you using that site to potentially start a masternode? Not currently. I did use, well, I use this site for, the stats for a lot of coins. I did a lot of masternode stuff, probably 2018, 2019. You know, the thing is with some of these masternodes, if you're not getting into like the really big ones, they're kind of similar to the meme coins, where you're, you know, taking a risk in hopes of getting a really good ROI and getting out before everybody else. You know, there are some out here, like if you filter by ROI, there are some coins out here, you know, 11,000% with a masternode worth of $101. Yeah. If, you know, what does that even equate to? You invest $111 or 101, whatever I said, and you double that in a week. Most people are going to try and take that, but you know, what happens is you get a bunch of people that set them up, and if you aren't one of the first few people to sell off, the coin value tanks and you lose, you know, the $100, or, you know, maybe you recoup a little bit. You know, it's never going to last at this, you know, this looks way too good to be true. And it is, unfortunately. But there are some interesting ones out here that are like kind of tiered. I think that's actually how they're, you know, called. There was one that I was looking for that, I don't remember what the coin, I want to say it was something, it wasn't that, but anyways, it had tiers of masternodes that as you continued to earn coins, you could add to your masternode and begin earning more. Those always sounded interesting, but you know, you got to set up VPSs and, you know, all of that, kind of keep it running. So there are more costs than just the coins that go into it. Like I said, I did mess around with these a while back, and unfortunately it just never really worked out. So, you know, I think at this point I don't really plan to look into this much more. But it is an interesting area of crypto that if you are really big into kind of the passive income and mining like income, staking is a great option as well, because you really don't need to have a real powerful mining computer to set up and run. So they are cool. I just haven't done much with them in a long time. So Low Roller, you said this is why you're looking into invest in new coins, but it's hard to pick one to trust. I only trust Cardano. Yeah, Cardano did well. You know, I would say kind of the approach I'm taking is, you know, take a look at the top, you know, 10, top 50, top 100. Find a few that you think are, you know, good for one reason or another, and, you know, just hold on to them. Yeah, some might work out, some might not, and that's just kind of how it is. It's kind of the same thing in the stock market and other investments as well. You know, you might think a company is, you know, the best company out there, and something ends up happening and they, you know, go bankrupt or something like that. Regardless of the research that you did, it was just something crazy. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out, and that's kind of the same thing in crypto. So, you know, you can't put money into everything, but find a few that you trust and think are good. Hopefully they work out. You know, that's just kind of how it goes. And you said Masternode is original staking. Yes. Yeah. So essentially, there's two sides to it. You can stake or you can set up a Masternode. Staking, and kind of, I'm not too familiar with the technology behind it that allows it to work, but essentially what it is the Masternode will kind of be like the main thing. It's kind of like the main nodes on, the Bitcoin network. And as more people start to stake the coin, which anybody can do by just holding the coin, it's a very low barrier to entry, but you're earning a little bit of a lower reward. Whereas if you invest in the coin and lock those coins in a masternode, you're going to earn a little bit more. So the rewards are higher, but there's a higher barrier to entry as well. So, if you would happen to, collect a bunch of Dash coin, a while back when it was cheaper, or you've been staking it for a while, yeah, setting up a masternode, you're going to earn more than just staking it. And if you're in Dash for the long term, $6-7 a day, it's not bad. But if you're just looking for something to straight up buy all the coins and set it up, $33,000 investment for 6% is not that good, unfortunately. But, there's 3,000 other people out there that are already doing it, so don't have to worry too much about it. Lower, you said, how many Doge on Mars do I have now? Still mining it. I think I crossed about 41 million with the mining. So, got a few rigs on it right now. Like I said, probably about 100 million is the goal that I'm working towards, but we'll see what happens. If something better comes along, might switch over, but yep, for now, still moving forward with it, with about 40 million. And lower, you said Redcoin is a great coin investment, but they got screwed in the last bull run since the community wasn't there. Yeah, the community is definitely a big part of crypto. Any coin, whether it be meme coin or, actual coins with, good use cases, if the community, leaves, that coin doesn't really have much longer, regardless of how strong it is. So definitely keep that in mind as well. But awesome, yeah. So again, thank you to everybody who has joined the stream. I do appreciate everybody coming in, asking some good questions and conversations and all of that. I think we're looking really good in crypto right now. Definitely keep in mind that I don't think we're near the bull run yet. I don't think we're anywhere near it. And just because we're seeing gains doesn't mean that it's time to sell or, we've made it. Continue holding, continue claiming. If you've made some profits and want to take them, definitely take some profits. But, I would say if you're in it for the long haul, we've got, another 8 to 12 months before I think we'll start seeing, really big gains. But who knows? We'll see what happens. But looks like we got a few other questions here, and then I'll probably be getting ready to wrap up the stream here. But Mike, you said, could you look at the charts again and see when did the altcoins start going up in the prior cycles? I'll ask you to maybe be a little more specific on what coins you're interested in, because that's the way it's currently phrased, and I don't know, what coins you're thinking of, but looking at altcoins, it's a little easier to look at each coin individually. I don't know of a way to say, all coins minus Bitcoin and Ethereum or anything. I don't know of a chart that shows that. We could look at, definite strength ratings on CoinMarketCap, but I'm not sure that'll get you what you're interested in. So if you had a coin in mind, I can definitely take a look at it. But yeah, let me know if I'm understanding that question the right way as well. Low roller, no, I do not have a Ledger Nano. I did not know that. I think I did hear that they were hacked. I did try and get into the hardware wallet space a while back, and it didn't go too well. So I've never really gotten into the hardware wallet space. But yeah, looks like their supply chain was hacked and leaves some of the wallets open to possible vulnerabilities. So yeah, that's definitely something to be concerned about. That's somewhat of the concern is you never really know if you aren't. You really never know when you think about it. Is where did that device stop? If you don't see it just come right off the line into a box and get sealed and then handed to you, even then, what software did they put in? Does Ledger have a backdoor into it? And I'm not saying they do, but it could be any company. Did the UPS driver, before delivering it, did they, tamper with the box and reseal it? It's not all that hard to reseal boxes now. So, I think hardware wallets arguably could be worse in some cases than regular wallets or paper wallets, anything like that. It's just something to think about. So Mike, you said the major ones take Litecoin, for example. So yeah, we can take a quick look at the Litecoin chart. Like I said, we were about December of when did we that's right now. Yeah, so we broke through the old all-time high in December of 2020, which was about 7 months after the halving for Bitcoin, just as a point of reference. So let's pull up Litecoin to, let me type in Litecoin. Litecoin to US dollar, we'll use the Binance chart. That'll probably be all right. So let's see if I scroll back. So we never really did break through the previous all-time high like crazy with Litecoin. But what we saw here is, zooming in on that, I think it was May 11th of 2020. Roughly around here. Litecoin, again, nothing really major that day. It was about $41. We saw it break through this kind of support around $80, about the same time frame, was when we started to kind of take off in December. After that, as you can see here, it did start to get towards that all-time high and eventually hit it in about May of 2021. So comparing that to Bitcoin here, when Bitcoin hit its all-time high in November of 2021, Litecoin actually beat it. So we may see Litecoin and other altcoins beat Bitcoin to what is their all-time highs. We did see Bitcoin hit a higher all-time high than what was previously shown, whereas Litecoin was only up by a few dollars here and there. But it did make it all the way up there much quicker. But with that being said, again, traditionally I think it's kind of thought of that the Litecoin and altcoins happen separately from Bitcoin. I think they're a lot more tied together. And then I see Low Roll, you said Dogecoin hit all-time high in May of 2021, similar to Litecoin. Yeah, that sounds correct. I'm not exactly sure the day, but I know it was in early spring. So with that being said, again, it's so hard to predict when these coins, because they're all different. One reason or another could cause them to spike up. And with that being said, I think as we get closer to the halving, a lot of this is going to be tied very closely together. Within, I wouldn't say there would be a difference of more than maybe 3 months in all-time highs or kind of taking off, and that's plus or minus. If we see Bitcoin start taking off and other coins kind of lag behind, I would say within 3 months they will be exhibiting the same kind of gains that Bitcoin and other major cryptos were. And that's the same as the other way. If those really start to take off kind of as a whole across the market, but Bitcoin and Ethereum and those big coins kind of lag behind, within 2 to 3 months for sure, I would think they would be catching up. So we'll see. But yeah, I see. So that answered your question. So glad that was able to help. I think we are still a little ways away, but the more you can collect now, the better. Just kind of comes back to that. All around. So Low Roll, you said altcoin season starts when Bitcoin hits all-time high first. Even hardware wallets aren't safe now. Yeah, unfortunately, you never know. And really, I would question hardware wallets. If you're storing a significant amount of crypto on there, you better be really, really sure that you are the only person that's ever touched that piece of hardware. And now with crypto being, so popular and more mainstream, they're a target. Those hardware wallets are definitely a target. So it's something to think about. But Low Roll, you said, did Dogecoin hit all-time high during Saturday Night Live? I think it was around its all-time high, and then unfortunately it did start to go down after that. I don't remember if it hit its all-time high during the episode or if it was prior, that day or week prior. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it went down quite a bit after that. And Low Roll, you said, altcoin season starts when Bitcoin hits all-time high first. Yeah, so that's traditionally what's been accepted, but of course we start to see different patterns and stuff. It's hard because I think a lot of people have different ideas of what the alt season is and what the bull market is and all of that, so it could vary on who you ask on when they say that the bull market starts for each coin. So that's something to think about as well. So my coins are mainly, I guess you could say, hot wallets, more so, regular software wallets disconnected from the internet, until needed, of course. But Low Roll, you said, is it safe to buy a lot of hardware wallets? I would say in most cases buying hardware wallets is safe, but what you really have to think about is who could have gotten to that device before you and done anything to it, whether it was install some sort of software on it that you don't know is there that gives them kind of a backdoor into it. I'm not really familiar with the different ways to come at it and attack these devices, but in theory, if someone intercepted your package before it got to you, they did something to the device and packaged it back up and sent it on, whether that be at the factory, in transit, wherever. You just don't know what's happened to that device, and because it is built specifically to hold crypto, they're a much bigger target than regular computer parts, where you would be, if you went out and bought a specific computer just to be a crypto wallet, yeah, it's a little bit expensive, but chances are nobody's going to know that that's your goal. If you don't tell anybody, there's no way anybody would be able to say, oh, that that laptop that Low Roller just purchased, he's going to store his crypto on it. No one's going to know that. So it's a little bit less likely. Now, of course, there are other risks. You have to connect it to the internet. That's a risk right there. You have to install software on it. If you get the wallet software gets hacked, or there's a known vulnerability in it, whatever. There's risks everywhere. And I think people really say that, to get rid of all the risk, get a hardware wallet. You're taking it offline. Yeah, but you have a targeted device that people can intercept and mess with. You're getting rid of one risk and introducing another. So it doesn't get rid of it altogether. But, I would say, just be careful. You can do the best that you can, and, unfortunately, sometimes things happen and it's completely out of your control. You could do all of the proper due diligence in it, and it just still happens. So, and you said the crypto isn't quite mainstream yet, since a lot of people don't trust crypto yet. With FTX and things like that. So it's much more mainstream than it was. But yeah, that's a good point. So, Awesome. Well, I think I am going to get ready to wrap up the stream here. So thank you so much to everybody who did join in. I think we had a good conversation and, you know, different topics in crypto. Overall, as you can see here, lots of green, a little bit of red mixed in. Continue getting crypto in whatever way that you do. And I think we have, you know, we've got a good amount of knowledge of what's coming, and hopefully we can use that to make as much as possible. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to Bitcoin Tips and staying up to date by clicking that bell icon. And if you do think of anything else after the fact with this stream, please feel free to leave a comment on the stream or any other crypto video here on the channel. YouTube does show me those comments, so I'll be able to respond to them offline. So thank you so much for watching. Low roller next stream will hopefully be sometime next week, but if not, I know we are getting towards the holiday season, so we'll keep you updated here on the channel. So thank you so much to everybody for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you in my next stream.